Hi, everybody. It is episode 594 of PodQuest.
Hey, Jinx.
It is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025. I am Chris. With me is Druten.
Hello.
And Walnut.
I get to punch Drew now because he spoke after I jinxed him. He owes
But
me. He owes me
you
a
didn't
Coke.
owe me a Coke, though.
I mean, you know what the rules of Jinx are. If you get jinxed, you owe a Coke, and you can't talk until I say your name, or you get me a Coke.
You gotta specify it.
No, you know what the rules of Jinx are. Plus, I also just said his name, so he can now talk. But
I'll bring you a Coke later.
Then I won't have to punch you.
There's also the idea that sound travels slower over internet, so you guys may not have said it at the same time.
We literally, as I was saying it, at the same exact time I was saying it, he was saying it too. It was pretty much exactly. And we'll have to wait and see what the podcast shows. Whoever listens to this, let us know. Are we exactly on sync? Probably enough to where a jinx would be worth it.
But I'll allow it. But yeah, it's New Year's Eve, so we have a show.
It is.
Yeah, it is you are getting the first episode of next year recorded on the last day of this year.
Yeah, actually that's true, because this will go up tomorrow morning.
Yeah. How crazy does time work, man?
It's like we're time traveling right now.
Exactly. But there's not a lot on the docket for today because it's the year-end wrap-up. So we had a book club, and then we have best and worst of, or just our fives, whatever we want to give. Yeah. That's really it. That's all we got today. It's going to be a nice chill day because you know what? Most people are off work tomorrow anyway. They're not going to want to listen. They'll listen on Friday, and then they'll be able to catch up with us afterwards. So yeah, it's nice and easy and nice and chill.
Yeah. It should be a little bit of a shorter one too. And speaking of book club, what did you guys think of American Psycho?
Nothing happened. Literally nothing fucking happened in this movie, and I hate it so much.
I thought it was a fun movie.
I was bored out of my mind. And then the ending comes where it was all in his fucking head, and I'm like, this is stupid. I hate it.
I honestly, while watching it, I'm just like, man, Richie's not gonna like it.
I was grateful for ads so that I could pay attention to my phone for a little bit. I was happy to get those 2-minute breaks and be able to I had a Smosh Reads Reddit stories going on my phone that I could listen to during the 2-minute ad break or some shit. I was bored, and I had messaged you guys. The movie is from 2001, right?
2000.
2000, and it has aged worse than some of the older movies we have watched. And I'm not talking about the campiness. I'm just talking about the material itself and the dialogue and shit is just. It's just even in 2000 that was dated, but as we found out, it's from a movie. It was from a book written in 91, taking place in 87. So it kind of makes sense.
Piece.
It kind of makes sense, but also it was still bad.
This is where you and I vehemently disagree on movies. I think this is maybe one of the best movies we've watched in all of book club.
I can't get, but I was how? What was so entertaining about this movie?
Because it is incredibly rare that you see a movie that is from the viewpoint of the villain.
That is true.
But there's no fucking villain because it didn't happen.
But yeah, you literally don't know whether or not it did or didn't happen.
At the end of the movie, he goes up to his lawyer. His lawyer is like, oh, that's funny. Haha, I talked to this guy 10 days ago. The guy is still alive. So the main guy that you thought he killed, he didn't actually fucking kill. None of it happened.
Is the lawyer
We don't know that
saying
none of it happened.
Also, is the lawyer saying that because he's saying that as his lawyer, yes, no, he's alive,
No, sure, corruption and all, but as a lawyer, you have the obligation, if your client tells you that they did a crime, your obligation is to tell your client to turn themselves in. I don't like Mad Men shit, and this is 100% Mad Men shit. This is all high up. Y'all know that I don't like shit about bad people. I'm mostly on the fence about Goodfellas. I thought it was solid because it was entertaining, but overall, like, I'm still on the fence about, because it's about bad people, and it was more, it was a historical piece. It was based on true events. So it made it a little bit more interesting. This is just all made the fuck up. Nothing happens in the movie. It's so slow. An hour and 48 minutes was too long. like, sure, it's giving you his viewpoint. But like, a lot of what like, I have a note here, and the note says only psychos watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre while working out. The writers of this book would be shocked to hear all of the true crime viewing people do when they're trying to go to fuck to sleep. Like, it's just dated. And like, maybe at the time it was good. Maybe in 91 when the book was written, what you even said, Drew, was very divisive. But like, it's just, it doesn't work. It doesn't click. Nothing's like really, it doesn't feel like any of it is based on factual material. It's just, I'm writing what I think a psycho would act like.
Yes.
And then,
exactly. That's exactly the point.
But it's not, but it's what I think, and not, it doesn't feel like it's based on actual material. It doesn't feel like it was based on research. And I just, like, I know that's the point. It's like, this is what I think a psycho would act, but when you turn around, like, it's fucking Sopranos. Like, when you turn around and say, did it actually happen? What actually happened? That sour shit. That makes the whole movie bad.
I mean, it can and it can't. I think the way they do it in this movie, they do it really well.
I thought it was dumb. I thought, like, I saw it from a mile away. Like, I wouldn't say a mile away, but I started seeing signs of, like, is this shit actually happening? Very early on. Obviously, he does, like, a lot of his commentaries that he would say towards people he doesn't actually say. You know that because they don't react to it. Fucking, he's sitting there drawing a woman getting impaled by a goddamn chainsaw on a fucking dinner table that no one is paying any mind to. Obviously, it's in his head. Obviously. And then he kills someone, leaves the building, kills someone else, and then goes back into that same goddamn building and doesn't kill them. He looks at his gun when he shoots a police car that explodes, like, oh, that's not supposed to happen, because it's not fucking happening. And it just, like, overall, it's just like, this is, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just bad. It was boring. Like,
have you two ever liked the same movie?
I don't think so. Actually, I'm sure there's Paddington. You can't not like Paddington.
No, you can't not like Paddington, but it's just like, I don't know, to me, it's just like, I was falling asleep watching the movie. I was falling asleep. And I watched it at 9 o'clock. Like, I wasn't like midnight. It wasn't like late. That's early for me. And I was starting to fall asleep.
Which, yeah, like, I was entertained by the whole thing. Like, I thought it was an interesting movie. And like, I do think, so anything that involves somebody that is like a serial killer or like anything like that, they always have that kind of like inner monologue of all the things they do are to try to fit in. Like, look at Dexter. Dexter kind of fits the same bill, where like all of his inner monologue is all of the things that he does to try and fit in while he has that bloodlust to kill. It's just the difference is, like, Dexter, while he doesn't have necessarily like a conscience, he has that kind of like moral like structure that his adopted father drilled into him. So like, he's not going on these like actual, like, even fantasy or reality, like, killing sprees. Like, all of his stuff is very like methodical and planned, whereas Bateman is trying to repress all of that stuff, and he goes through these like at the very beginning, he goes through that litany of things that he does every day. It's all very structured and scheduled and specific, and he hyper focuses on things. And when those things don't work the way he wants them to, they go to this rage-inducing like bloodthirst instead of the way a normal person would behave.
And I'm gonna sit here, and this is why, like, I feel like this just it doesn't work, and it's just dated and bad. All of that that sounds like OCD. The way he was talking was OCD. Like, it like, and that's why I guess we're in 2025 where mental health needs to be at a much more forefront. And when you say American Psycho and then all of the things that he's showing as OCD and bipolar disorder and shit like that, which again, it's because of it's the time frame that it was written and created, is why like it's just being looked at as this guy is crazy. And that's also a lot of why I don't like it. It's just this guy is not getting the help he needs.
He's also not
He's
seeking any help.
but
He's
it's
not
because
displaying those behaviors outside of the norm, like for that time period. Like
he's
Right,
everyone he interacted with had the same mentality. They didn't know that in his head he was thinking about murdering.
but he's not seeking help because it's the 1980s. It's
Exactly.
87. No, like everyone's going to look at you, and if you go to a therapist, they're going to write you off. Like it's yes, I understand it's a product of its time, and I just don't. It just that's why like I say like it ages poorly because it's just nowadays we know like everything that he's going through is like it's more of like he needs to get mental help and less about he's a bad guy. He needs help.
I mean
And
that's every serial killer,
oh, for sure.
real
For
and
sure.
fictitious.
For sure. Serial killers aren't as like aren't as around as they were back in the 60s, 70s and 80s. Like they aren't as prominent. You don't hear much about serial killers anymore because a lot of the people that need the help nowadays get the help. I'm not just like yeah, serial killers are people that need that they do the things they do because they did not get the help they needed to get, and then their only reprieve from their issues were murdering and shit. There's still people out there that still don't get the help they need that do stupid shit and do bad shit, 100%. And like it's just yeah, I don't know, man. I've seen this movie before. I guess I've never seen it all the way through. Really the only scene I truly remember seeing in the past was a scene where he drops the chainsaw down the stairwell, which like I mean I don't know I don't know how accurate you can be dropping a chainsaw down a stairwell.
Like 5 flights of stairs, yeah.
You know
But
that bit was impossible. Like the fact that he timed it perfectly so that it hit her as she reached the bottom.
Mhm.
yeah, but also on top of that, and yes, it's still like a level of like the chainsaw's not running.
Yeah, because you
Because
have
the
to actually
trigger's
hold
not being
the
pulled.
thing.
So like the chainsaw is on, but the chain is not running. So like, is it possible to be impaled? Sure, but
That was definitely the movie using just the suspension of disbelief of like, oh no, like that chainsaw kept chainsawing, even though it wasn't like
it wasn't
because,
revving though.
yeah.
Like even in the movie, it wasn't revving. So like it just, yeah, it's I can I don't know. It's hard for me to sit here and enjoy a movie that does not end up being the least bit a little entertaining. And like maybe they tried a few times, but overall it was just like it encircles a lot of shit that I just like I sit here and think about it now and I'm like none of these people would have these problems nowadays because they would be seeking help.
I mean, that's not
not
necessarily
true,
true. Fucking toxic masculinity is absolutely still a fucking problem in 2025.
Oh, for
And, like,
sure.
that's kind of like the whole nature of all the main Bateman and all of the rest of his coworkers are they're toxic males and fucking obsess over dumb shit like their business cards.
The business cards bit was that's just what killed it for me too. I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what people talk about in 1987?
That's what rich yuppies talk about.
Like
Their rich yuppie job on Wall Street.
also they're all fucking vice president.
As someone who is an AVP, yes, fucking vice president is just the title that gets thrown around.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, it doesn't actually mean anything.
It means fuck all.
but none of them were doing any work. Is more of my point.
Fucking yes.
Have you ever met
That's
a vice
how
president?
Wall Street works.
Like they were,
and it's not. It's definitely not as common now. But like the whole business card thing, like if you ever meet like somebody who's like older in like a business setting and they hand you their business card, like they may be silently offended if you don't take a moment to actually look at their business card. And I don't mean like glance at it and put in your pocket. I mean like legitimately like look at it because it was such a big deal in like the 80s and 90s because that was how you found people. You didn't get them. There wasn't email, there wasn't social media, there wasn't like texting and like just literally just, oh yeah, let me just save your number into my phone real quick. Also, just as a point, there were at least 60 serial killers active in the last 5 years in the world. A lot of them in the United States. The U.S. was probably the country I see
Oh,
repeated the
we're
most
good
in
at
this list.
murder.
Yeah, and like some of them are only like, and I say only because there's not really another way to say this. Like some of them are a lower number of murders, but like
Right.
some of them are still in the double digits. So we still out there killing people.
They're just not as prominent anymore, I guess. Like they're not. I mean,
Well, you
I
also have to
mean, it
think
is.
like we were not alive in the 70s and 80s. We don't know how prominent those things were like in the media,
they just
other
they
than when the big people were apprehended.
Right.
yeah they just like you don't hear about them nowadays. Is what I'm saying. Like because to be a serial killer, definition generally 3 or more murders over time, like with time in between, and generally due to psychological gratification, blah blah blah. And so like it just I I now am curious as to who they were and what they're like, why we haven't heard of these people, but they're probably across the entirety of the United States. Whereas
Well,
Well,
like they're
and
there's
not
also
like
that.
the
Also, the big thing, like the 24-hour news cycle, like unless somebody is out there actively with like some super weird MO on their murders, like that shit just passes through the news cycle so fast
yeah, it's
anymore.
I yeah, and it's three three over the course of time. Obviously, you're not going to realize who this person is and who they killed until after they're apprehended, and so
Right.
therefore it's like it's going to be hard to know like, oh, this person was murdered, because when people think of serial killers, they think also generally think of somebody killed in a specific way,
Mhm.
like on a specific display and shit, because that's what you see in the media when it comes to procedurals and shit like that, where it's like,
Exactly.
but like that's not what a serial killer specifically is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
but yeah, back to American Psycho. I knew while watching this that you were going to hate it. Like,
Yeah.
not that you have a narrow like scope for movies, but like you do have very specific like style of movies that you
It's
enjoy, and
it's
this nothing about this fits that style.
I I think less in the terms of specific. It's I have a very specific set of criteria for what will make me not like a movie, more so than whether or not like what kind of movies I do like. It's more of like this movie hit every criteria of this is not a movie I will like. Because there are movies that we have seen that like some of the points will hit of a movie I won't like, but then there will be other points that hit a movie that I will like. And so it's just like more of a like again, I lean on the I was not entertained watching this, whereas there are other movies that we've watched like Goodfellas where I was entertained watching.
Checks out.
Yeah, and like I actually thought this movie was significantly more interesting than Goodfellas. Like
But
I think Goodfellas is a good movie. I was bored watching it because
same.
I mean, one, I had seen Goodfellas before, but it's one of those movies where like I can appreciate it's a good movie. It's not a movie I give a single fuck about. I think I've
Right.
just come to terms like I don't really like gangster movies so much, like because
Hmm.
they kind of are all the same. That's
Right.
why
Yes.
like I generally don't like Scorsese movies for sure. Like his movies all just feel the same and they're too long.
Hmm.
But like stuff like this where like it kind of just I did so I had never actually seen this. I had just seen like clips and stuff like that. So like I didn't realize just like how kind of like crazy it went in this movie. And so for me, I'm just like, oh no, this was actually this was interesting. Also 85% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that checks out.
sounds
Yeah.
about right. There's 2 out of 3 of us that like it.
Yeah, that is true. But what is our next thing going to be?
Oh, next book club. Good question. Do we want because it's no longer Christmas time, so we're not going to do the Christmas adjacent
Yeah,
movies. Yeah, I mean, new year, new topic. Good question.
we had one and we
So
sidelined it for this, and I forget what it was. Remakes or
it was
sequels
no,
years
it
later,
was
right?
yeah, years later sequels, and like I only had like what 2 movies that I could come up with that like fit in that criteria. One of them was Independence Day, and then the other one was I'm
There's
honestly blanking on it. I'm
Blade,
sure there's
Tron.
Blade
plenty.
Runner, Happy Gilmore, Independence
Happy
Day,
Gilmore
Oh,
was the
Happy
other
Gilmore was
one.
the
Indiana
other one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones twice, technically Star
Tron
Wars
twice.
twice, Tron twice.
So
There's a lot of
so
them.
I would make the argument that like I would cut out Star Wars, I would cut out Indiana Jones because it happened twice.
But
And
they
I would
happened
leave
twice
it
more than 10 years apart.
true, but they then became well so maybe Indiana Jones, yes, but exclude Star Wars because they became their own trilogy of stories.
I mean, we could keep Star Wars in there. I don't know that any of us are picking any of the Star Wars for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
I
gonna
sure
pick,
as fuck ain't.
I'm not picking
no,
Phantom Menace or The Last Jedi.
it's more of just my like criteria for other movies. Obviously, we're not going to pick Star Wars. I'm not going to pick Indiana Jones. Like, not that I have anything against Indiana Jones. I mean, I don't really care to. I don't need to watch the latest Indiana Jones that came out. What, this year?
2 years ago?
Something like that. 2 years ago. Yeah. I don't really need to watch it. I don't really.
That's why
It's
we're
not
gonna
that
watch
I hate
Crystal
it.
Skull.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're going to pick one, pick the one that came out 2 years ago because I've seen Crystal Skull. But yeah, it try to like if it turned into a series like we're not going to do Avatar Way of Water because it's turning into a series.
I mean, I would
This is
simply so like I
my
think
suggestion.
I would discount Avatar because it was always planned.
But the first Avatar is not part of the series of the new Avatar movies.
Not right now, but Avatar, like that sequel to Avatar, has been in the works since 2009. Like it's different. So like even with Star Wars, like George Lucas always wanted to do the prequels. They were
Yeah.
not officially in the works until more than a decade after the originals.
Yeah.
Crystal Skull and whatever the newest Indiana Jones were not in the works after the original three movies.
True.
So like I would say that's a kind of like the big cutoff there is like Avatar shouldn't count because it was always in the works. It just took Cameron 15 years to get it actually made.
Also, do we really need to make a tech demo be one of the movies we're going to watch? Because that's all the Avatar movies are tech demos.
I mean, I'm sure she's also not picking fucking Avatar.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like those
I would
movies
say
are
What?
minimum of a 10-year gap between the
Okay,
movies.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
we
like
can,
I'm
yeah,
looking
there's
at a list, and one of the ones mentioned on here was Terminator 2, because that came out 7 years after the original Terminator, and I was like, what's the cutoff? Not that I would pick Terminator 2 because we've already done all the Terminator. Or well, I've talked
pretty
about all the
much-
Terminators on.
We
this
could
show
do
before.
Terminator 3 though.
No,
no.
'Cause
We've
There
pretty
was a
much watched
12-year
every
gap between them.
We've watched too many Terminators.
we could, but no.
So realistically, Terminator 3, the only one that I think actually fits.
I mean, what was?
Because
I don't know,
Salvation
but
was
also
08. So Terminator 2 was 91, Terminator 3 was 2003. Then Salvation came after that, and that was like 08 or 09. And then the one with what's her face from Game of Thrones was like 2013, 2014. And then the one with Linda Hamilton returning was only like 5 years after that.
Then also sprinkle in between the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was the TV series.
True. Yeah. So Terminator 3, the only one that counts.
I don't remember when Sarah Connor Chronicles was.
Like just after Salvation? Or
just before Salvation. It was 08 and 09.
There you go.
So
But
yeah, I mean, it also leaves out like obviously we're leaving out all of Marvel because even if there was a big gap between like a hero and like the Avengers movies and shit like that, it leaves that out. Like anything that grew into a series beyond just the sequel, I feel like just leave that out.
and again, like you're kind of throwing, like I understand why, but you're definitely throwing things out there that I don't think any of us would pick in.
I know, but it's anything. Yeah, it's just but
it would be your pick.
I mean, it would be my pick, I guess. Normally, you pick first.
Yeah, but you didn't get a pick here.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna go with the one that there's two I've always wanted to. There's two I've wanted to watch. One I've always wanted to watch the Independence Day sequel, but I hear it's garbage. I still want to watch it eventually. But the other one is the one that I was going to pick for sports movies that we haven't watched, just because, you know what, let's get something light and fun. Let's do Happy Gilmore too.
Okay.
And I hear it's solid, so I
Okay, I
hear it's
wasn't sure 'cause
enjoyable
for
at
some
least.
for some reason I had heard it wasn't good. So that's good to know that maybe that wasn't true.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that it was like a fun movie. Like it's a comedy, so it's not going to be the greatest thing in the
Yeah.
world.
It
I was
seems like
But
gonna say
it's kind of middle of the road. It's
I was
like
gonna say it looks like
60%
yeah,
ish.
it's getting very middle percentage. So that means probably a bunch of people like it, a bunch of people really hate it. So wound up in the middle.
Yeah. So it'll probably it'll be non-offensive at the very.
yeah,
And I have a feeling people may not like it because it's 2 hours long, and usually comedies when they get that long start to like overstay their welcome.
hmm
But you know what? Like the first Happy Gilmore is a classic, so might as well see what the sequel
yeah,
looks like.
exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, with that out of the way, then we'll be watching Happy Gilmore 2 in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I guess time for our best, worst, happy, sad things of
our
2025.
fives of 20. The five things we want to talk about most, whether good or bad, of 2025.
Who wants to go first?
You.
Yeah, you always go
Uh,
first, so you go first.
Fine. First thing I actually have is very unique to me. It was getting in the new house.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice,
it was stressful and a little bittersweet, but like we really like this place. It's like a nice neighborhood. The house is nice. We have more space. It's comfortable. So yeah, house is the first one.
nice. New houses are always good. I'm hoping to try to get some renovations done in my house over the next year, so that I could start hosting people and shit.
Yeah, I saw
Um,
that. I saw you put that on Discord earlier with
yeah,
your
it's
2026 goals.
yeah, to go beyond behind the I don't know what word I'm trying to figure out, but just like behind the scenes, I'm looking into potentially refinancing my house to take equity out so that I can use that money to make some pretty major repairs that I need to make in my kitchen and bathroom and stuff. So we'll
I remember you
see. And
mentioning looking into
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm waiting until next year to see like with January, February to like look into it all. And then trying to figure out whether or not I can DIY it with family or if I should just hire somebody. Part of me wants to just hire somebody. Part of me thinks like it would just be cheaper to DIY it, but I don't know. It's work I'm not incredibly interested in doing, so I'm just like I don't really want to DIY it. But at the same time, if I can DIY it for $10,000 less, I'm gonna do that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Um,
Are you going to streamerify your kitchen to make cookie day easier?
no, not necessarily, not the kitchen. Like I mean that's the kitchen
He's
is
saving
going
that for the
to
bathroom.
no, yeah, no. The streamifying room is gonna be the one of the bedrooms upstairs. That's where like I'm gonna move all my shit and like turn that into like my content creation area, so that like board game stuff will be easier to record there as and whatnot, as well as like streaming. But like I mean, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be in this house, so part of it is just fixing up the house so that I can sell it easier, and
I mean,
make
that
more
is
money from
also very
selling it.
valid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's just like those are just plans. So like new house stuff is always nice to do. It would probably help my mental health to get the house stuff taken care of.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Like fixing, like so. I mean, we just saw it just from having been like looking and all. Like fixing up stuff, even like a little bit, really does like help, like with the resale value and all. Like our old place in Brooklawn, we ended up getting at the time, just frankly because the market was just such a seller's market. We got 210 for it. Our house was like this, basically that whole neighborhood, all the houses are the same unless you had like one that had like done like massive renovations. Um, so like other houses in our neighborhood, like really like on our same block in some cases, some were going for like 20, 30, $40,000 more than that. Um, just because of like real simple like renovation stuff. Like they just kind of modernized everything.
Yeah.
They didn't like make the rooms any bigger. There were no additions to the houses. It was still like the 950 square foot like townhouse essentially. But they just, they they just gave it a little facelift and it added a whole bunch of value to the house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's part. It's like even just like once I get done the bathroom and kitchen, the rest of the house is going to be relatively easier because it's just going to be taking down the walls and putting them back up and getting new windows and flooring. Like it's there's more so in a sense of like potentially structural stuff in the bathroom and kitchen that needs to get taken care of, as opposed to the rest of the house and rooms, where it's just like primarily cosmetic.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah, but who's
I'm
next
glad at
for
least for
their
the time being we don't have to do any cosmetic.
yeah? But who's next for their five? For their one of their
You,
five?
you,
Me?
go.
All right. Fine. This is gonna be a shock to no one. Fucking Expedition 33. Um, is like God. That game is amazing and fantastic. I will say I did spiral a bit when I found out that they used AI generated art as placeholder for shit. I'm not happy about that. I'm not. Like, just fucking make a thing that says this is a placeholder and fucking put it there. But the argument can be had that they might not have known that it was AI generated when they were pulling it off of the shop. So I don't really know. That piece of art was replaced. But other than that one piece of art that we know that they used, the rest of the game is incredible. Obviously, like it's why it won as many awards as it did. And I just like I want to beat it, but I keep delaying beating it because then I won't be able to play it. And I'm just so close to getting all the achievements. I'm so close.
Nice. I did get that for Christmas. And it moved from Steam Deck like compatible to Steam Deck verified. So it'll
Hmm.
or actually, you know what? It might not be fully verified. I think it still has like it has like one warning left of like some text may be small or like one of the really like doesn't impact the gameplay things. Um, but like it full controller support for the Steam Deck, like regular graphic settings work fine. So
That's
I will probably be playing that soon.
it's gonna be. I mean, I don't know how big and uncomfortable the Steam Deck may be, but that's gonna be interesting to. I don't know how comfortable it would be to be playing a handheld with like the time button pressing that you have in that game.
Oh, I mean, the Steam Deck is more comfortable than the Switch, like by leaps
Under
and bounds,
under
because it is larger. So like it's more comfortable to hold it, and it's not like I'm holding it up, like I'm holding it basically on my lap.
I understand. There's a lot of like you've played a bit of it. Like there's a lot of timed button pressing, not just with the attacks, but with the dodging, with the parrying, with the jumping and shit like that as well. That like I don't know, like there's only going to be a limited amount of time that you're going to be able to play it at times because it's just
Oh, and I'm
there.
sorry, it is fully verified now.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah,
but
it's
but
the game's
I
beautiful.
played. I was playing Tony Hawk on the Steam Deck, which everything is very like button press specific and all. Like that stuff doesn't bother me.
No,
Like I said, like the Steam Deck is very very comfortable, and the nice thing too is like so it's got all your standard buttons. It's got the four back paddles like the Pro Xbox controller does that you can assign different buttons, which makes you have that little bit of extra like if say your ring or middle finger's a little bit quicker than like your thumb pressing, I can assign like certain buttons to those to actually make timing. Plus, remember, I'm not a completionist, so
no. I mean, still like some of the enemies not even being a completionist, like timing is very tight for some of these attacks.
yeah, but do you have to actually parry stuff? I forget. I know you were talking about it
No,
last week. Like you,
not
you can get
for
through everything without.
you can get through everything by dodging, and dodging is more forgiving because there's the dodge and then the perfect dodge. And basically the way people explain it is dodging is for learning how to parry. Because once you get the perfect dodge consistently, you then should be getting the perfect parry consistently. Um, but I mean, it's primarily bonus content that would bring you to requiring the parry. Not necessarily all the monster or all the fights. Like I don't think any story-based fight requires parries, but like to be honest, that's where the game shines is a lot of the bonus content and bonus monsters and shit like that to fight. Like the game is fantastic, the story is amazing. I can't wait for you to like figure out and learn some of the other spoilers that you have not even like some of the other major content what's the word? Fucking what's the word?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Um but just like major story beats, where like they pull what is it? Where I don't know, but some of the other major story beats that like unexpected major story beats that like you have not been spoiled for you, um, those are all fantastic and just like blew my mind. Like going from Act 2 to Act 3 blew my mind, and it's like Act 3, all's Act 3 is the end game, is going and defeating the final boss, but it's where all of the extra bonus content you have access to as well. Um, so like I could have beaten this game a month ago if I wanted, but it's
Yeah, I
just
mean
there's just
you have just been going back to it over and over again.
yeah. I mean, I've been really only playing it once a month, so
I mean once a week.
once a week. Yeah, I've really only been playing it like once a week, more lately because of just timing on just timing for what I want to play and the holidays and everything else and Monster Hunter drops and whatnot. So yeah, it's an incredible game. It is amazing, and it just goes to show you what AAA is not doing to for us, but indie is. And an indie game can sweep the fucking Game Awards.
True.
There you go. However, I'm currently in a fucking content breaking glitch that I don't know if they fixed yet. And it's annoying. There's an area called the Endless Tower, and it's just there's 33 floors. And each floor is just a different fight, or it's 33 trials, and each trial is just a different fight with different monsters. And one of the monsters keeps breaking on like their second or third turn. And from what I've heard, it's not just in the Endless Tower, it's every monster of that type in the game is breaking after they try to do something. So, like, I'm kind of in a broken loop right now, and I hope they fix it soon because I really want to get that content done.
Oh, that does suck.
Yeah. It's either defeat the enemy before they can get their turn that breaks them, or figure out what it is that's causing them to break, which I think I know. I think it's they're trying to use a certain ability, and if I prevent them from using that certain ability, then maybe they shouldn't break. But then that just means the rest of the fight's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, but that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Drew, what's your first?
The first one I'll say is Hades 2, because I haven't finished that yet, but it's real good.
Nice.
I
I
don't
haven't heard
know
you
whether or
talk
not
about it as much as like the first one. I haven't really heard anyone talk about it as much as they did the first one.
I feel like it kind of came out, and then when did it officially?
Is it officially out?
Yeah, it's officially out now. Like, I forget when I paid for the early access to it, and then played like 20 minutes and was like, okay, I'll just wait till it's fully out.
September. September is when it came out officially.
Okay, so yeah, it kind of came out
Yeah.
relatively recent, towards the end of the year. So I feel like it did kind of get a little overlooked, but it's real good.
It definitely got a little overlooked because, like, I
Good.
remember Hades 1 was like, if you hadn't played or touched Hades 1, you lived under you lived under a rock. But with Hades 2, like, you're right. I it just came and went. Like, it was not like part of the overhype train and the hype train as much as Hades 1 was.
Yeah, I mean, it was up for a lot of stuff in the Game Awards still this year, but
Not as much though, was it?
I think it had like 5 or 6, but it was all in stuff that uh Claire Obscure was like. It was in the Game of the Year. It was one of the nominees for Game of the Year. It was nominated Best Direction, Best Art Direction, Best Score.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Best
6 according
Independent
to
Game.
Google AI.
Yeah.
Yeah, art direction, score, music, game direction, indie, action, and game of the year.
Yeah, and it won Best Action Game. It's
Because
real good.
I'm shocked that Hollow Knight didn't win Best Action Game.
Hollow Knight wasn't even in that category. Hollow Knight was in Best Action Adventure Game.
Oh, see, okay.
Fucking.
Which I'm assuming Hollow Knight won Action Adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it won that. But like they added a few more gods to give you abilities. I mean, the weapons are completely different than Hades 1. The ability, so the buffs you get from the boons are a little bit different. They add an extra ability in there that is like a separate set of boons that you and path you work down each run, and it's real cool. The premise in this one is I'm forgetting the name of the Kronos. The Titan has taken over Hades and like has taken over the underworld, Hades, and put Hades the god in like has him locked up in part of the underworld, and you're one of Hades' daughters now trying to go stop him and get the house back.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did play a little bit of it and thought it was real good.
Yeah.
Definitely thought it was good. All right, guess it's back to me, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My second one is The Bound and the Broken, which is a book series. I talked about, I think, the first book when I read it, like the beginning of the year, but I just read the fourth and like most recent book in November. Um, it's it's a dragon rider series, but it takes like a bunch of it at least feels like it takes inspiration from a bunch of like other series. Like there's some Lord of the Rings in there. There's like Aragon. There's Wheel of Time. But kind of like does its own thing. And while the first book is good, it's very kind of just standard fantasy. Um, Everything after that though just ramps up, and like the way it expands its world and the themes and everything that go into it were just really, really interesting. Um, and it's one of the few series in general where it has like novellas that take place, or not that take place, but that release between the books. And like all of the novellas are also like actually really good and worth reading. A lot of times, like if you see an author releases like a novella for something, it's usually just like some random like side thing. It's kind of like Rich, this will make more sense to you probably. It's kind of like OVAs and stuff like that. Like you can watch them with an anime, but they don't actually add to or impact the main series usually in any way. It's just anime only content essentially. In these, like the book, like these novellas actually either go and explore like one of the POV characters that you don't necessarily get their backstory in the main series, or explores like a larger thing from like the world of the book that is impacting everybody. So it's been a real good series so far.
Nice.
Yeah. And Rich,
Yeah.
if you're gonna do a book a month, you could start with that.
Dude,
It
I really
I'm,
like
I'm kidding, it's too
I
long.
know, but like I'm mad at myself because I did 0 books this year. I did not read a single book this year.
You got 6 hours.
That ain't happening. That is not happening. Even like a short ass like fucking comic book like volume will take me more than 6 hours. Probably not actually, but still, I didn't get any reading done this year. I didn't read anything. I really wanted to, and like it's just I just been honestly I've been so tired all year that anytime I would sit down to want to read, it would just end up being like I'm just tired and I'm just gonna like put on a comfort show and maybe fall asleep. And then it ends up I don't put on I put on the comfort show, but I end up watching it for 2 hours and then going to bed instead of like trying to read a book or just going to bed. Um, but yeah, like books are something I want to try to get into more. I really do. I got this book from someone from PAX that like I want to read, and I told them like I'm gonna try my damnedest to read it before the end of the year. And it's still wrapped in the plastic, so I haven't even tried to read it yet. Um,
Sounds like you.
I have this Warhammer book that I bought last year. I got a couple of books last year for Christmas that I haven't read, and it's because reading just takes so much time for me and so much of my mental powers. It's hard for me to be able to do it easily. So it's just like I one of these days I'll become a better reader, but it just wasn't this year. It wasn't in the books for me this year. It bums me out. Like going back doing because for anyone who doesn't know, on my Discord I do like a yearly here. Hey, post what you want to try to do this year. Post your goals. Post what you're looking for, and I basically copy and pasted my goals from last year to this year. It like nothing that I was trying to achieve happened this year, and it is a bummer. It's a bummer to reflect on that.
Well, like I said, man, if you want to do an actual book club, I will read books with.
I know. It's just I need to get started on the book club and get started on the books before I do an actual book club.
Having somebody else reading like along with you is
Yeah,
um usually a good way to do it.
yeah. I'm hoping that like I find time and I start making time for myself. Because I think part of it, like, no, I didn't. I kind of stayed away from RPGs this year, so I can't even argue that like I did a lot of RPGs like long streams and stuff this year. It was, I mean, I did my fair share amount of long streams and longer games, but no, I don't even know what it was. That just like I did dedicate a lot more time on Sundays to streams, or a lot more time on certain days to streams, but it just didn't, it just wasn't in the books for me this year. It just wasn't.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. But what is your next one?
We already mentioned it. Hollow Knight Silksong. Hollow Knight Silksong was an incredible game. It took me a month to beat that game, roughly. Like, and that was playing it 2 to 3 times a week and putting in good time to it. And like, I loved it so much. It is like, it's not often that you will find me like planning to play a game that quick after beating it. But like, I'm already planning my 5-year stream anniversary event this upcoming year based around Hollow Knight and Silksong. Like, I'm just like, I'm planning some sort of fun interactive thing between those two games because I thought that game was incredible and I just want to play it again. It was amazing. And if it weren't for Expedition 33, I feel like that probably would have more swept the Game Awards than Expedition 33 did, because every category that Hollow Knight was in, so was Expedition 33. So it's just like, you kind of, with the exception of player's voice, I guess. I don't know. But like, yeah, it was, no, I'm sure Expedition 33 was also in player's voice. But yeah, it was just, it's such the Hollow Knight series, the lore behind Hollow Knight is just so amazing. And like, especially with Silksong, like Hollow Knight, they made it to where like each play could be a little different if you build your badges differently. Whereas Silksong, you could just straight up just not use the crest you used in your previous playthroughs, and then choose different ways to play. And like, that's my goal, is like, there are like 6 different crests you can use, and like, I would love to learn all of them and figure out how to play all of them. And like, maybe this time I'll finally actually, like, I didn't realize I didn't own Hollow Knight or Silksong on Steam. I own Hollow Knight on Switch, and I played Silksong through Game Pass. I'm like, I'll probably buy Hollow Knight Silksong and play through it again, and I'll probably buy Hollow Knight on Steam and play through both of them again, because they're great games and they're good challenges. Is really what it is. They're very fun challenges.
Nice. Drew, what do you got?
I'll say like 3 concerts specifically, but concerts in general. Warped Tour DC was super fun. Boys Night Out at the Underground Arts was amazing. And then fucking the Wonder Years playing a headline show at Underground Arts was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that one must have actually been like you showed me like some of the pictures at when we were at Boys Night Out, and like that, a band that can sell out the Fillmore playing like such a small venue, like yeah, that's insane.
It was one of the most chaotic shows I'd ever been to in all the
That
best
sounds
ways.
right. Yeah, especially because Underground Arts doesn't even have like a proper stage. It's just like a slightly raised platform and then audience.
I mean, the lead singer Dan stage dove like 10 seconds into the first song, like directly onto me. So that was
nice.
fun.
That is a good way for a concert to start.
Right, live music, it's real fun.
Agreed. Anything like specific about any of those concerts you want to call out, or just in general they were enjoyable?
No, just in general they were enjoyable. I mean, I guess I'll say about the Wonder Years one, it was like the first Wonder Years headline show I had gone to where I didn't have to get stopped for someone getting hurt in the crowd.
I mean, that's
somehow
something.
That kept fucking happening. Shit, even the Warp Tour set they had to stop because somebody got hurt.
Oh, I remember watching that on the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's, you know what though, did they have to stop last at the? Oh, you know what? You didn't go to both nights of the Wheel of Rarity stuff, right?
No, I only went to the first night.
Okay, because I went to the second night, and I don't remember them having to get stopped that night. So you may just be bad luck.
The first night.
Yeah. So it sounds like you were just bad luck. You were causing injuries.
It didn't happen the last one though.
Just your track record though.
You're not wrong.
All right. So I guess back to me. So my next one is the Pokemon Legends ZA. It was honestly like it probably the first game this year that just kind of like sucked me in, um, which is kind of sad because it was the end of the year. Um, but I really like the style of the ZA games. Like that more just it is more of an open world, even though this one was just a single city, and just it feels more like where Pokemon should be at now versus what we're seeing in like Sword and Shield and Scarlet. Like those two games, and Rich, you and I have talked about this before, they just feel like the same things being repeated that have been repeated for the last 30 years versus the Legends games that actually feel like they're trying to do something with the series. And like this one's certainly not perfect, and I see a lot of people complaining about like endgame stuff, but I don't care about EV training and shiny hunting, so none of that stuff really impacted me. Like one of if you complete like all of the research tasks, you get a shiny charm that like apparently makes shiny Pokemon just pop up like crazy. And people complain about that. It's like, well, you can just not get the charm then. Like, just don't get it. And you can have like the struggle if you want it. But I ended up like I thought the fact that this acted as an actual sequel to X and Y, which one of the better stories that Pokemon games have had ever, um, was really great. And like it wrapped up kind of loose ends that you may not have realized were loose ends. And I still have to get around to the DLC that came out that does add like story content. But I just thought like it was a really, really well done story. Some of the stuff got a little repetitive at times, but I feel like once they did kind of like jump you forward, they did try to make the ZA Royale stuff be unique for each of your like late game opponent. It wasn't just always like, all right, go into the things at night and get all your points and then go straight to just find this person to battle them. They added like a little bit of like flavor between each of them. And some of them were better than others, but it was still like it was something and it didn't they were unique enough that it didn't make it just feel like they padded it for the sake of padding by like doing fetch quests or something. Um,
Yeah.
there's certainly room for those games to grow and become a little bit better still because again like the difficulty of these games is not very high and I would love to see them just add even like an actual difficulty curve or have something where you can have like Pokemon in battles specifically, not so much in the wild, scale to you. So like when you're doing like story required stuff, let those trainers actually scale to your level if you want them to. This way you're not just kind of like trouncing all over people because that gets a little like less fun in late game when like your whole team's level 70 and your opponents are like 45 and it's like, cool, this was no challenge. And I do think that this ZA kind of re- refined might not be the right word, but it improved the like mechanics that they did in Arceus, where and Rich, I don't know if you remember in Arceus, like whenever you did like the boss battle things, you would have that like kind of slightly annoying like mini game you'd have to do first before you could like catch like actually fight the Pokemon. It was usually like dodging their attacks and stuff like that and throwing like treats at it until it like
Yeah.
calmed down
Yeah,
enough
that
to battle.
that shit was annoying as hell.
Yeah, that exists kind of in this one, but they actually make it more battle centric, so you're not doing something goofy every time. So what like one of the main narratives in this are we're back in Kalos where like the mega evolutions happen, and Pokemon are they're having rogue mega evolutions, is what they're calling it, where they're not being triggered by a trainer, like it's just wild Pokemon are mega evolving and kind of running rampages. So late game, that is one of the things you're doing is you're running around the town every like chapter and clearing a handful of these rogue mega evolutions, and that's usually how you get the item that lets you mega evolve that person or that Pokemon. But it's a big kind of like battle royale sort of setup where that mega evolved Pokemon is there and it has like its attack patterns that it does, and you just have your team and then one of the three like NPCs that are on your team are there with you. And they do almost nothing throughout the whole battle, but it's at least somebody else there doing a little bit of damage and occasionally taking a little bit of the aggro. Um, And meanwhile, it's a lot of like strategy and trying to like hit these Pokemon with the right moves to actually do damage, so that you can then Mega Evolve your Pokemon. And unless you like do all the research in the Pokemon Mega Evolve, they don't always Mega Evolve into the same type. Like sometimes they'll dual type or something. I think like Charizard actually turns into a Dragon type, and for one of his forms. So like if you go in there to fight like a Beedrill with like a bird type because it's a bug type, and then it turns into something that's actually like electric, you're kind of fucked with your bird type. So stuff like that. Just overall like a really fun game, and
Yeah.
I'm glad they kept up with the Legend series.
Yeah, that game looks fun and incredible, and I do want to play it, do want to get into it. I've watched like online multiplayer play, and honestly, like all of the complaints that people were having about having to compete in that in order to get your Mega Evolution things is like it's a fun system because it's the Battle Royale system basically.
So
It's
it's
just
it's actually even it's more than that even.
yeah, but
So
it's like four players, and it's like you're just all fighting, and if your Pokemon goes down, they eventually come back or something. Like I don't know for sure exactly how it works, but it's
yeah,
just
no, that's
it's
exactly how it
it's
works.
it's like basically a point-based system, and you just get points for participating and playing it. And it seems really fun, and I'm like that. It's not just a 1v1 type thing that you have to do, and I'm like that seems really cool. And like
And you don't have to win.
yeah,
So I
you
did
just
I did it a few times to get some of the Mega Stones because I wanted the
yeah,
Greninja stone that you can only get that through the online multiplayer.
yeah,
And it took less than half an hour to get all of the available stones at the time, which I think there were three of them for that one.
yeah,
Because you don't have to get like A rank or anything like that. Like you start at Z just like you do in the main game, and you just have to work up. And I think I had to get to like S or R rank, and you level
my
up very quickly if you do even marginally well. And it's not like marginally well. I don't mean by like actually win the fight.
yeah,
You just have to have like gotten a decent amount of points in the fight because you basically get points and then you get ranked at the end based on who has the most points. And points are for defeating other Pokemon. I think a little bit for doing damage, and you probably get a bonus too for like how many times you die versus your opponents.
yeah,
The My only real complaint with that is everybody runs in there with like their legendaries and alpha Pokemon. And so like if they're not the ones that you were using, it's a little less fun because it's just like, cool, everyone here is just using their the deer from X and Y, like the deer legendary. So like you don't really see any unique strategies in there. It's just a lot of like, hey, we're just going to use the ones with the highest stats. And like I get it, it's online competitive multiplayer, so people are just going to do that. But it'd be cool to see people use different teams. Like I don't change my team for them. I just use the team that I was using in the game. It does level everybody out. So I think it like drops everybody to level 50. So
mhm,
just everyone's level 50 going into there. It is just a free for all. Rich, like you said, like your Pokemon do revolve after a little while. And I think you actually, it might not have been a full team of six. It might have only been like teams of three to do it. I think it is. I
yeah,
think it's teams of
yeah,
three to do it. But still, like actually, like it was fun. It was fun in a different way to do like the online battles.
yeah. And that's my buddy. He for season 2 of ZA, he went from the lowest rank to max rank within 3 hours.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
about right. Like it's really
it's
not that hard.
yeah, it's not that hard. It might be a little bit competitive. Maybe as time goes on, it may become a little bit more competitive. But like, it's just it seems like a really fun thing to do, and I want to get into it. I'm hoping people start playing it when I when I do eventually get the game.
Well, Rich, what is your next one?
Oh boy. I hmm, I think I would have to say, and this is gonna sound weird the way I'm gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it this way: a restored faith in Marvel movies. With so this year it was Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, and was there another one this
Captain
year as
America.
well? Captain America, and they were all very good movies, incredible movies in my opinion. They were all really well done. They all like had really good like overarching messages and stories that they were telling. Nothing, they weren't. I would argue that none of them were incredibly too long. Um, and they were just all very good, fun movies that I am excited to see the future of what additional Marvel is coming. Also, on top of that, the fact that we're not getting another Marvel movie until a year from now, is the other crazy. I think about a year from now, we might be getting Spider-Man,
I'm
next
not
year.
sure.
But I think like the next movie slated is Doomsday, which is December of next year.
Is it? Oh yeah. Huh. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that far away with all the trailers coming out.
Well, the trailers are nothing. I don't know if you've been seeing them or watching them. The Doomsday
The
trailers are.
third one fucking actually has me really interested.
Was the third one Thor, or was there
No,
a new one that came out? Because there
the
was
third one
Cap,
has
Thor, and
leaked.
it has leaked. Okay.
And I mean, do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fucking X-Men.
Okay, yeah.
And
That doesn't surprise me.
It's Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen back as Xavier and Magneto, and
Okay.
it then had a fucking who played James Marsden as Cyclops, but he's in the fucking like '90s era
Yeah.
Cyclops,
Yeah, makes sense.
and I'm
Nice.
like,
That'll
fucking,
drop. That'll drop soon, I think.
yeah,
Also,
I think next week, because apparently they've
Yeah.
been putting out a new trailer before Avatar each week.
yeah, I think there's supposed to be 4 of them in total.
Yeah.
Also, Spider-Man Brand New Day is July. So you get Spider-Man
Okay.
in July and then Avengers in December.
It is good to hear that the movies this year have been actually.
In my like so again, there have been a few there was really only one movie that I absolutely hated, and that was Wakanda Forever. And then I thought Black Widow was fine, but just honestly kind of bad. And then the rest of them, like I thought they were better than the critics ratings. Because a lot of people were just complaining about the amount of CG that they were using in a movie like Quantumania, Ant-Man, the
Right.
movie where they go to fucking outer space but small. Like, obviously there's going to be a lot of CG in that. And then there was people were hating on the Marvels because it's female lead. So obviously they're going to hate on that. Um, but like this year specific, like I liked those movies, but these ones like fully really did restore my faith in them.
Okay.
Like the Thunderbolts just tackles mental health and grief so much better than fucking Wakanda Forever took 3 hours to do. And I think it was only 2 hours long and like was actually entertaining and funny and a good movie to watch. So much better than like honestly a lot of other movies I've seen recently. And then Fantastic Four took like a very interesting take on a story about family and found family and protecting the ones you love and doing the right thing. Like it's a really good take on that. And then Captain America, like I loved Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was one of like probably I would say my favorite Marvel series. And this just brought back some like it brought back Ross being an integral character. And I think like what's his name did a really good job at taking over the Ross um title basically. Um and it just like overall the movie and like the like how it was like very political but not, and the like that one didn't specifically tackle any like crazy themes, but it did pull a lot from old Marvel from like the first 3 to 5 years that just like really brought the movie back into like this was good. And also like it tackled a lot of things that no one talks about. Friggin' Mastermind or whatever his name is. I don't know his name. Cobb, you know his name.
I honestly, I'm drawing a blank on it. I know who you're
The
talking about though.
the Hulk villain that's super smart, and
Yeah,
the friggin' colossal fucking
the
what's
Celestial.
it called? The Celestial coming out of Earth and stuff like that. And it starts to bring in a lot of things that we haven't heard that's going to be in the Marvel Universe, like Vibranium, or not Vibranium, Adamantium and stuff like that. So it really did a good job of setting us up for stuff that we have not heard in this era already. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it's just I would say like a restored faith in the Marvel movies in general from this year specifically.
Yeah, I the only one of them that I saw was Captain America, and
Mhm.
I thought most of the movie was actually pretty good, but like I was a little like bored by the end. Like I thought the final like confrontation was just kind of meh, but like the rest of the movie I thought was actually pretty good,
Yeah.
especially like the big set piece like at the Celestial when like the Falcon gets injured and stuff like that. I thought all
Yeah,
of
the
that
new
was really
Falcon
good.
gets injured. Yeah.
But nice. Yeah. I haven't, other than Captain America, I don't know that I've watched an MCU movie
I,
since I don't even know.
I think
Um,
I think you would at least really enjoy Fantastic Four. I think I you haven't really seen much of Marvel since probably before Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's the last one that we watched.
Okay.
I haven't cared about any of them.
Yeah. So it was really since Wakanda Forever because you walked out on that one because like
Yeah.
that movie was advertised poorly. It was not a kids movie. It's not a movie for
Yeah.
kids. Not no
But,
no way, no how.
yeah.
Um
But like, I honestly, at this point, like, I might at some point watch Fantastic Four, but like, I don't care. Like,
mhm,
no part of me wants to sit down and watch a 2 hour movie about these characters anymore. Like, I will. Spider-Man is probably the next one I'll watch. I'm
mhm.
not even totally sold that I will go see.
Yeah.
And
The
like,
way they're
nothing
releasing
against them.
these
I'm glad that they're doing better.
yeah, and the way they're releasing these Doomsday trailers that are like it's like snippets, like 1 minute teasers, and it's just saying. So the first one was Captain America, and it said Steve Rogers will be in Doomsday. The next one was Thor will be in Doomsday, basically, and it
Yeah.
revolves around that character. And I looked up. There are people who have the fully release the full um teaser, it seems, the full trailer on their channels already reacting to it or some shit. Um, which I'm surprised they're not taken down. It's been 2 days. No, there's no way that these were out and leaked before Thor was out. I don't know. Oh, it's fan made. Never mind. Fan made. Never mind. Okay. Um, but yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see what the next one when they drop the next one. But I'm
Yeah.
liking what they're doing with these trailers.
Nice. Well, Drew, what's your next one?
Um, I'll go with the album Big Symmetry by Pet Symmetry. Came out in May of this year. It's real fucking good. They're a band out of Chicago, although the lead singer's from Cherry Hill
Oh,
originally.
nice.
Yeah. And like they definitely reference New Jersey. He references a lot about New Jersey in a lot of his bands. He's also in a band, Into It, Over It, fucking, which has one song called Westmont, New Jersey. So,
Nice.
so yeah, they're real good. That album, the Big Symmetry album, real good. I'm mad I didn't listen to it like right when it came out because they toured like right when it came out, and I just missed that tour because I totally would have gone. They played, I think it was Johnny Brenda's, and that would have been.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard you talk about that band a few times, but I still have not actually listened.
Listen to that album. It's really, really. Come on, there's a song about his next door neighbor's dog on it,
Oh
and how
shit.
much that dog is awesome.
I am looking them up now and hitting follow. So
Called Big Barker.
Big Symmetry. Right. I just followed them, so it'll be more likely that I won't forget later.
Gotcha. The song Big Diamonds really hooked me, like the bass, but
Nice.
all of that album.
Yeah, it's also only 35 minutes, so
Mm.
I will almost certainly listen to it. Maybe Friday when I have to drive and do a bunch of boring like taking things out of a network rack for work.
One of the songs is like a love story to their van, like
Oh
the
jeez.
band's van.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
All right.
it's fun.
Nice. Oh, it's back to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna do the other book series I really liked this year. Rook and Rose. This I talked about these when I read them back over the summer. It was just a cool like setup where the the main character that you follow the most is like a con artist and a thief, and she is pretending to be nobility. When in actuality she is just a con artist and a thief from essentially the slums of the city. Um, and it just kind of escalates from there, where she just kind of becomes wrapped up in this kind of like mystical stuff going on, that there's actually like a curse on the family she's trying to like swindle. Um, and she doesn't get magic powers, but she gets a mask. The first book is called Mask of Mirrors. That kind of like hides her identity. More so than like a regular mask does. Like a regular mask, like obviously can just get pulled off. But this one is like a supernatural mask that like legitimately changes who she is. And just overall, like really interesting story, great characters. And it was nice. It was a fully completed trilogy when I picked it up. So like that nothing was really left open. Like it is finished, and it was a good story, start to finish.
Nice.
Yeah. Rich, what is your number 4?
Number 4 is it's PAX. PAX this year. PAX was an incredible time. I had a lot of fun at PAX this year. There
PAX was
were
really fun.
It was a good PAX.
I had some negative Nancy's around me at times, but other than that, like it was an incredible time. I had first time going to actually.
Fuck you too.
And I'm not talking about you, but honestly, probably a little bit, I'm sure. No, I told the story already. But like, it's my first year ever actually checking out some of the panels, and like, I've been missing out. Like, they're really fun. Some of like the more like the panels focused more on entertainment and less on how to play or here's what's coming up or whatever shit like that, or just like Q&A stuff. Like that's where I'm about, and I had a lot of fun going to them. I'm mad that I missed out on Jacques. I'm so mad because honestly, this is fucking Pax's fault. They put him in the smaller room, and they should have known better. They should have known better.
Yeah, they also underestimated that for sure.
Yeah, and I'm also mad I missed out on Iffy's panel as well, his playtest panel. Again, I think they put him in the too small of a room. I think I don't know. I think they actually estimated properly with Iffy because when I got there, like they had just filled up, and it wasn't a big line, as Jacques still had a huge overflow line waiting. But yeah, it was a great time, and I had a wonderful time meeting all the developers, and we've been like busting out content like weekly from that. Taking a short break for a couple of weeks because I don't have anything recorded, so I don't have anything to really bust out for PAX until I get more shit recorded. I will say, if All Play's listening, which are probably not, but All Play, if you're listening, I'm sorry I didn't realize that you wanted the review done by the end of the year. I would have gotten it done by the end of the year if I had seen that, but it's been a crazy month. But other than that, yeah, like it was a really good time, and I look forward to that show every year. I'm hoping maybe to try to go to more shows next year. But like PAX is always going to hold a place in my heart because I love it so much.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, like I think everyone should check out some of the panels that they have, especially the entertainment ones. Like read through your panels, but like there are some fun. Like I didn't think I was gonna have a good time at the Jackbox panel, but I like had time to kill, so I went to it. And I was like, this is actually a lot more funny than I was expecting. Like it was silly, and it was just like a good time to hang out and watch something for a bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, PAX is always a good time.
Yeah.
Drew, number 4?
I'll do one last music one. Hot Mulligan's The Sound a Body Makes When It's Still album. A song called Monica Lewinsky shouldn't make anyone cry. But yeah, that's what Hot Mulligan does.
Cry because they're so bad. I get it.
Good. It's so good. It's such a good album.
I wish I liked them because like the couple times I've seen them, like they definitely put on like a good show. Just something about their sound just doesn't click with me.
It's that post emo. You're not into it.
Maybe is that what they're technically post emo?
That's what it's part of what they call themselves. They're fucking mid emo. You know, they're emo. What are genres?
That is true. Man, they have some 1 minute and like 10-second songs on this album.
Those are like well, other than Let Me See Your Mounts, the two minute. This Makes Me Yummy and This Makes Me Yucky are just instrumentals.
Okay. Well, there's also my dad told me to write a nice one for Nana, so here it is.
Yeah, I mean that's very much what that song is. Like they didn't even play that when they did their tour, and they played literally everything else from the album.
Nice. But yeah. So that's your last music one, you say?
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what the last one's going to be then. I did just to go back to the previous one. I was actually going to put that B&O show at Underground Arts, but I'm like, nah, Drew will have it. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
that's fair.
Um, or the two shows earlier in the year, even at the
hmm
TLA and whatever that place was up in
Montclair,
Montclair.
yeah, I forget what it was.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
those were
remember.
great too, but they weren't headliners. So
True, true. All right, back to me. So my last one is actually like super recent. We just like 3 days ago started watching Schitt's Creek. Um, and I've been using GIFs from that show for years because literally there's a GIF for every occasion from that show.
there
Yep.
I
are
have
a lot of
never,
gifts from that I
There are
use.
so
I have
many gifts
also
from that
never
show.
watched the show.
yeah. Drew, I think even you would enjoy this show.
I have heard very good things about
Yeah.
it, and I feel like I honestly would. But yeah,
Um,
I just
but yeah,
haven't.
yeah. In less than a week, we have watched the first 4.5 seasons.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Um,
Yeah. That show has always been on my list of things to watch. Never gotten around to watching it. I want
yeah,
to
like
though.
yeah, like the amount of like even like so both on Facebook and on Discord, like I use mostly David. A lot of the gifts are him
Hmm.
because most of the gifts from that show are him. But I had like no reference for like any of them, and like watching through it now, and like Erica's seen the show like 5 or 6 times, so like it's not new to her. But like watching it now and seeing like, oh, that's where that gif is from. That actually makes it funnier knowing like the context around.
Like watching American Psycho and seeing him do the GIF.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like even to you, Rich, like at the start of this show, that this show seems like shitty people that are like shitty rich people that are just kind of like going to be shitty. And like it's
Hmm.
not that at all.
Yeah.
Like yes, they're a little shitty, but like none of it is intentional. Like they're all
Mhm.
just so unaware of how to behave. But like there's like real character growth and stuff in it. And
Yeah.
the supporting cast of it is actually really good too. So it's been a really good time.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah. It's been on my list of things to watch. That The Bear, and even surprisingly to everyone would hear is it Shameless, I think, with William H. Macy in it. Yeah. Um, the lot those three shows have been on my list of things to watch, and I've just never gotten around to watching them. Um, but yeah, I hear nothing but good about Schitt's Creek.
yeah, like it really has been just like a great time.
Hmm.
But Rich, what is your final one?
I mean, I saved this for last because it's like the most like obviously it's the game I played the most this year, but it's also the game I've complained the most about this year, and it's Monster Hunter. It is like base like with everything now that it's all done, the updates are all done, and how the game is. It is like the most accessible Monster Hunter to new players. It is one of the most compelling and fun to play Monster Hunter games. The updates that they made are great. I still feel ripped the fuck off with support from Capcom, and the fact that the game is almost a year old and they still don't have a lot of the performance issues fixed, and are still running issues. I know someone who has uninstalled their game and uninstalled every mod, and they go to load the game up and it does not run. Um,
That's a
it
bummer.
is yeah, like the game just doesn't work for some people, and they're still not finished with fixing that. It's been a year, and like I'm going to complain about the fact that they're promoting and pushing so much for the new Monster Hunter stories, for Resident Evil, and it's like, but I don't hear, but like they brushed off Monster Hunter Wilds so fast. It was like 6 months after launch, and it's like, all right, now get ready for Stories 3, but you still don't have like a full game for Wilds. Like now with everything released, with most of, if not all the content released, there's still one more Arc Tempered monster coming out in February. Like the game is in its full state, and this is how it should have released. To be honest, with additional monsters dropping afterwards. I'm ripped off about it, and so I feel ripped off about it, and so it's like I obviously have played it the most. And it's a game I'm gonna continue to play. I am apparently top top 10% on Twitch about Monster Hunter Wilds. I got just under 197 hours, literally 196.9 hours. It was just under 197 hours. I would say 190 of that were all on live stream. And it is a game I'm going to continue to play pushing forward, trying to get geared up and ready for the expansion, which I'm expecting sometime between July and September. Which again is another bummer because it's barely a year and a half after the game came out, and we should still be getting content based on previous game releases. But you know, that's just how Capcom be doing it. So yeah, I love the game. I also hate the game. I love the game. I hate how Capcom treated the game, I guess is the best way to put it.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I was like a minor like honorable mention I was going to bring up Cookie Stream, but literally just talked about that.
That is true.
2 weeks ago, a week ago, whatever. It was an incredible achievement, but I don't need to talk about it again. We already just talked about it. Yeah. Yeah. That's all.
All right. Well, Drew, what is your number 5?
I mean, it's the fifth one I'm mentioning, but it is the only one that, like, if I was ordering them, this is the number one. It's the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster. It's fucking so good.
I actually forgot all about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's Final Fantasy Tactics. It's my favorite game of all time. They added amazing quality of life stuff to it. It absolutely perfect for what I would want in a remaster of that game.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I heard nothing but good things about it too.
Yeah.
I forget if I did buy it. It's in my library.
There you go.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I actually played Tactics all the way. Nice. Well, I guess that is our list then, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's the lists. It's just like top 5 most talked about things for each of us, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. And that will probably be a show for the end of year too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not a year because it's the first. So that'll be
the year
start.
For us though.
But it's not a year for the listeners because they're listening to it on the first day.
Yeah, but we're talking about it on the last day.
Yeah.
So we are wrapping up our year.
Yeah, but when it says that's a year, we're wrapping up their year. And their year just started.
No, I specifically said it's a year for us.
You know what? If 2026 is anything like 2025, it would be nice for it to just be one day. So, like, I get it.
Not wrong.
I get it. I get it.
All right. Well, with that, though, if you'd like to find some more of our content, you can head over to www.one-quest.com. You can also help us out by supporting us at patreon.com/onequest. If you can't support us here with your dollars, though, you can go to your favorite podcast platform, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. Rate us, review us, subscribe to us. All of it helps. You can also find us on social media, facebook.com/onequestonline or at @1_quest on Instagram and Twitter. And Blue Sky is at one-quest.com. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/onequestvideo. And you can always send us an email to social@one-quest.com. Now, Rich, what is your streaming looking like?
Twitch.tv/b_1 us for video game streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Expedition 33. We just reached 20 subs, so I'll be playing the original Tomb Raider. I also still have to play RV there yet. And if you are listening the day this is released on the 1st of January, I may be live right now while you're listening to it, playing some Expedition 33 before we jump into some Sea of Thieves later on in the night. Maybe I'll beat it. Probably not. I think I'll save the beating it until Sunday, but we'll be doing some of the additional content that they released as the thank you version as well, because there's just so much I have left in this game, but also not a lot.
Nice. Well, with that, we will be back next week with something else to talk about. Thanks for listening. Bye.
See yous.
Bye.